Hey, Being at Work listeners, I have a funny story to tell on myself today. The title of this daily dose of leadership is Lessons Learned from the Time I Met Drew Brees and Made a Complete Idiot out of myself. So I met Drew Brees in 2012 when Indianapolis hosted the Super Bowl. So if you don't know Drew Brees, I suspect most of you probably do, but Drew Brees was a National Football League player with the New Orleans Saints for many years. Very just well known, awarded quarterback for the Saints. He also played football at Purdue University here in Indiana. So he's quite beloved in our state. And so during the Super Bowl, I was working at that time, I was working downtown, just a block away from Lucas Oil. So I got to participate in a lot of the pre-festivities. And also at that time, my friend Kim was working at CVS and got all of these passes to all of these really cool parties. Some like very private and exclusive, like this one where I met Drew Brees. I believe it was sponsored by Pepsi, and it was a very like star-studded event, particularly with famous football players. Like we met John Elway and Troy Aikman and Michael Strahan. I mean, and others, I could go on. But the one football player who really had me starstruck was Drew Brees. I've always kind of had a crush on him, and I just always thought he was such a good guy and such a great player, obviously, and being from Indiana and all of the things. And this was a party. I mean, there were maybe like 40 people there. Like it wasn't a huge event. So we got one-on-one time. And so I had been having conversations and feeling good and had a drink and was connecting with people. And then all of a sudden, Drew Brees is in front of me and I'm meeting him. I was so awkward and tongue tied. And instead of taking time to think and to get myself in a good place, I just blurted out, "So, Drew, have you ever been to Indianapolis?" What? Of course he has. So he looked at me and kind of smiled sheepishly. I was like, "Well, yeah, lots and lots of times. I went to Purdue." So the leadership lesson in this awkward exchange is a couple of things. First of all, like giving yourself grace, letting yourself be awkward, but also recognizing when you're off or feeling anxious like that. And gosh, I wish I would have just taken one moment to pause and feel that and breathe. And then to be intentional, like to really determine what do I want to get from this conversation? Because I did not show up in a way that really represents who I am. I mean, yeah, I am awkward, but I'm also a connective person and I'm a curious person. So if I'd taken that pause, perhaps I could have had a more engaging exchange and not quite as awkward of one. So here's to showing up with intentionality today, recognizing when we're feeling awkward or anxious and are giving ourselves grace and time to breathe, to get ourselves in a good place. What a great way to take care of yourself and ultimately each other.